Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something pretty interesting. We're going to be talking about when to sell your shoes to resellers. Real quick, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button for content just like this every single day. Now, this is a topic that I saw one of my buddies, David Regaldo. I'll put his TikTok right here and his link to his YouTube channel in the comments or in the description. He started talking about it, right? And this is assuming you are not a sneaker reseller yourself, right? You're just somebody who happens to have shoes. So let's take a little reaction. I'll add extra commentary to like his video and we'll see when should you actually sell to a reseller, right? Okay, let's go.
If you're over 30 with kids, here are the...
All right, so right there, let's stop right there. So this also applies to, like, let's say you're a teen, you're in your lower 20s. It doesn't really matter like your age, and it doesn't matter if you have kids. I think the main thing I was trying to get at is like you have extra responsibilities by that line, right?
Pros and cons to selling your shoes to a sneaker reseller.
Okay. 2
pros, 1 con.
Okay, so 2 pros, 1 con. Obviously, like, he's a sneaker reseller. You know, we're all sneaker resellers. So there's probably going to be more cons than non-cons. The major non-con you guys could anticipate is you're not going to get the full value of your money, right? Sneaker resellers need to make money, right? So they need a margin. But let's look at the pros.
First pro is the speed and ease you could get your money. And the second pro is you deal with less BS/people.
Okay. So pro number 1, ease of getting your money. Now that is a major pro because like, let's say like you have some bill you have to pay, you look around, you're just like, oh, I have the community gardens, those I could get like $250, $300 immediately out of. Well, you could hit somebody up. Like, I don't buy shoes, right? Just because I don't have the time to do that, or at least do it this way, right? Because there's a lot of things that, for example, sneaker resellers are going to be taking the risk on that a lot of people don't realize, right? They need to authenticate the shoe. They need to know how to authenticate the shoe, right? So they can't lose out on a shoe because it's fake. And chances are you're going to be meeting up with somebody. They're not going to be waiting an hour for you to be able to like authenticate the product. So you're going to have to know how to do it, right? So you're going to have to look out for all the scammers there. And then you're going to have money up front too, right? So like if the capital is $500 and you have to be ready with $500 if somebody hits you up, right? That way, like, you're reliable. People essentially use you kind of like a pawn shop, but pawn shops, like, you're trying to get your item back. In this case, you wouldn't. And pawn shops probably lowball you even more than like your local reseller, right?
So first one, speed and ease of money. I'll give you an example. I bought these 3 shoes.
All right, so let's look at these 3 shoes. He has a knit runner. That one doesn't resell for much, right? Like, I don't know how much is retail, like $220 probably, I forget. But I don't sell used shoes, at least not for resale, but I could imagine like you're not paying more than $60 for that. And the Jordan 1s, both of them, depending on the condition, probably maybe $50 each. If you're trying to make some kind of margin, maybe less, right? Depending on like the condition and depending on like what the used market is going for.
Plus like 2 or 3 more off this guy last week. He messaged me at like 11 a.m. By 2 p.m. he had $300.
Okay, so he paid $300. So it's like he probably paid like 75. That's $150. And then maybe like $150 for one of those. All right, so that's interesting. He might have overpaid a little bit.
Cash in his pocket. That's fast. You know, if you were to have put those shoes up for sale like on Go, eBay, Facebook, they probably wouldn't have sold that fast unless you priced them super low.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to posting, especially used shoes on eBay, it depends on like how reasonably like you price a shoe, right? I've had almost all my used shoes that I post post on eBay like super reasonably because I'm just trying to get rid of them. There were like mistakes on my part or personals. Those sell within minutes, and I mean within minutes, right? Like, I don't usually expect them to sell that quick, but it's because it's so reasonably priced. When you don't like know how to price it because you're not a sneaker reseller, it might be sitting for a month, right? It might be sitting for 2 months, might be sitting for a couple weeks, right? You never know when it's going to sell. So if you need immediate cash, and then obviously like if you post like on eBay or anything like that, like they're gonna hold your money until they authenticate the shoe, then they pay out, right? You're not gonna get the money immediately. So by regard, like you're at least waiting a week for cash, right?
Next, you don't deal with as much BS.
Okay, so this is the reason why I like selling dead stock and not like used pairs, and I like primarily selling like online because of the people, right? I sell a lot on eBay, and I'm starting to deal with this a lot where people just, I don't know, they're just too nitpicky or anything, right? But I try to post as many photos and all that as possible. But especially when it comes to like used shoes, where you got to meet up with the person to like buy the shoe, you're gonna be dealing with a lot, right? And it's customer service. So if you don't like customer service, then it's not gonna be the right thing for you.
I'll give you an example. This is one I get all the time because I sell on Facebook Marketplace. In my listings, I will write located in Broken Arrow, comma, okay. Most common message, where are you located?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I probably sold a couple things on Facebook Marketplace, none of them sneakers in the past, and always got that. It's just like, where are you located? Like I have it in my listing, right? So you're constantly like wasting time, right? Trying to be a seller. People don't want to be sellers, right? So like that's a good reason to sell to your local sneaker reseller. That's going to give you slightly higher prices than a sneaker shop, or slightly higher prices than a pawn shop.
Bro, like when you have kids and you're over 30, I could not imagine going through this, bro. It's like,
okay, and by kids and all that, like I said, like he just means like you have responsibilities, right?
I got kids to feed, a mortgage to pay, like shut the fuck up. You know, by just selling to a reseller, you avoid this.
Yeah, so I guess like if you need cash, right, and like you have a local sneaker reseller, right, they would be that would be the point to go to them, right? There's some sneaker resellers that pay a lot, like pay high, like really high. Like I think he paid high on like those 3 pairs. But I also don't sell used shoes, and I don't buy shoes like that, so I don't know what the market is on them. But 300 for those, like, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Did he overpay? But I do know some resellers that do sell a lot, right, or sell high.
Biggest con, and I'm sure you see it coming, is you won't get the full value of your shoe.
Yeah, you won't get the full value, right? And I think that's the main thing. So for that ease of transaction, right, for you not to be a seller, for you to save hours of your life, you're gonna pay a fee for that, right? So like the way you look at it, or should look at it, is essentially like he's providing a service, right? You're unloading your stuff to him real quick. You save time, you get your money immediately. You don't have to deal with being a business owner, and you don't get taxed, right? A lot of times it's just straight cash, right? Like it's not like you're operating a business, right? This is like, if you don't sell more than $400 worth of product, like you don't put that on your taxes or something like that. Consult your accountant for that though.
If you're over 30,
and it looks like
shut the
that
fuck
might,
of what you're asking.
Yeah, looks like that essentially is it. Really good video, right? Like I wouldn't suggest like selling to a sneaker reseller unless you have to, right? And I would look at a sneaker reseller essentially as like a pawn shop or as a sneaker boutique, because they're going to give you more money for your shoes than you know, like those two, right? But if you do have time to sell yourself, right, like if it's not like an immediate need, I would sell them myself, right? I'd put them in consignment, I'd put them on Facebook Marketplace, I'd put them on like eBay. But if you really just don't care, or don't have time, or you're moving or something like that, you know, sneaker resellers might be the people to go to, especially if you have a lot of shoes, you collect shoes, you're part of the sneaker community, or even if you're not, like it's always good to know who is your local reseller. And I'm sure somebody has a connect. So that's the video. Hope it helped. And yeah, make sure you guys hit the subscribe and go follow my boy David. I've been following him since he had 7,000 followers on TikTok, and now he has more than me. He has 150, right? I think I have 65,000 right now. But appreciate y'all. Catch you guys on the next video.